welcome. These are horse racing selections for Monday, the 7th of April. I am Flatcap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, I'm properly back in the swing of things when there's a Monday vid coming out to you. Last week we did 6 days in a row, Tuesday through to Sunday, and we're carried on straight through. We've got Monday vid, 3 horses, £7 is the channel stake, 1 at Redcar and 2 at Kempton. A couple of them at Kempton are 8s and 9s, so they're not massive prices that we're playing with for Monday, but there we go. We'll try and keep it fairly pacey, snappy. We'll see how we go. So we've got to do the review. That won't take very long at all. And then quick sort of review of last week's stats as well. I was going to do, and the bets as well. Right. So Sunday we finished on a whimper, didn't we? Non-runner despite getting smashed in the betting. And then all these went off shorter. That would have been a rule 4, but they all went off shorter. I just realised I've still got this thing on my hand. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But basically, none of them really looked that interested. So $9.50 on, I got a quid refund, $8.50 loss. So that took us to 76 profit for the week last week, which is really good. And yes, that puts us now 17 down for the year because we were scraping ourselves back from Cheltenham. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. It does mean we've taken a chunk out of it, but this week could not go away, and then we might start adding back in. You never quite know, do you? So yeah, we're just steady as she goes. We'll find out each day what we've got, and as long as I've got a couple, I'll try and give them to you. So yeah, we're starting the week with 3. I'll do the bet, and then I'll just tell you. Those are like the stats. You can do some stats from last week. All right, here's the 3. 427 Redcar Highway Grey. I'm not massively keen on a Tim Easterby first time out of the season, but that horse has got bits and pieces of form fresh. It has won once and run reasonably on a couple of other occasions. From a profile point of view, at the end of last season, they ran it 3 times on the all-weather to get the handicap mark down, you would say cynically. When it's not really what it wants, and now it's starting off this season £6 lower than last turf run of last season, which happened to be at Redcar, and it was third at £6 higher. If you look through the history of the form, Pontefract is its best track. Redcar is the second best track. So good ground at Redcar. I'd prefer a higher draw over 10 furlongs. That is what we've got. So yeah, ticks a lot of boxes. Happy to put it in, despite the fact it's a first time up for Tim Easterby, which was not my favoured. But there we go. 427 Redcar Highway Grey 16s, 18s in places. Then we're going to Kempton 630 Kempton Hieronymus. It's in really good form. The last couple of times it's run over 7 furlongs at Kempton. It's equally as good over a mile. So I've got no bother about the stepping up in distance, and 8-1 is obviously the kind of low by my standards, but if it runs to form, there's absolutely no reason it shouldn't be in the front 4. So we will see. And then 8 o'clock we're finishing off at Kempton. Synodin, maybe Synodin. We'll go with Synodin 9-1, 6-runner race. It's the rank outsider. That's been priced up in based on its last 2 runs, which are the first 2 runs of this season. If you go back to the previous year's form, it's got the best form in the race by quite some way. If you look back last April, something like the 14th of April, it ran and won, and the year before, the 10th of April, it ran and won. So let's see if we can go the 7th of April. So the last 2 seasons, the horse has won a handicap in April. So time of year is hopefully more of a thing than it running well fresh, because it has run well fresh previous seasons and not this season. So we're taking the faith that the horse will bounce back. If I look at the profile of the horse, there has been a period of time before where it ran absolute duffers and then sprung back into action. So there's a bit previous there, but yeah, quarter of the odds, 9-1, that was worth having in. So the bet is a 50p each way patent to make it easy. I mean, technically speaking, I probably should have had a on the nose on that one of those odds, but we'll keep it easy. 50p each way patent, £7. That's each way, singles, doubles, and the treble. 7 bets, 7 50p each ways. Sky, you get an extra place there and there. 365 Paddy, Betfair, Unibet, Betfred, Ball Sports, Betway. You get the 4th place on that one. So for the channel, we're 3 there because only Sky are there. 4 on that one, 2 on that one. £7. That's the bet. Just remember that thing on my hand. I need to wash that off. It's like a stamp. I took the little people to their first and my first ever Comic Con convention. Like for like people who are into computer games, characters, comic books, trading cards, stuff like that. Star Wars. Wow, it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating to see how people live their lives. My favourite absolute moment of the day. I was stood in a queue for face painting, not for me. And the guy in front of me was talking to a mate, and he went, "Oh yeah, I've just seen my boss over there. He's dressed as one of the Jedi. I haven't spoken to him yet." Great. So literally, he's turned up at a comic convention, and his boss is dressed as, well, I say Jedi. I mean, one of the older ones. Like this guy was in his 60s, I would say, dressed up in his robes with his lightsaber. So he was living his best life, and then one of his team members was there bringing the kids and saw his boss there in that. So just it made me chuckle. Anyway, back onto the horses because no one wants to know about me going to a comic convention. All right, so last week did a quick rundown because we obviously had a good week and the best week of the year so far, best week since December. And strike rate, as you know, I talk about all the time because it's really important to what I'm doing. Because if it wasn't in the strike rate, then I wouldn't be achieving any result on here. So, and then if I am hitting strike rate and it's not working, then I know it's a matter of time. That's kind of how it works. So, last week, 31 starred horses is what I had in the end. 31 of them. And we had 2 winners and 12 placed horses. The winners were 14s and 16s. So if you backed only the start horses and only did them on the nose, you would have made £1 profit for a £1 interest. So that's 31 £1 bets. You'd have got £32 back. So you made £1 profit just doing win only on the start horses. But 14 out of 31 is 45%. So the rundown was we had a 14s and a 16 to 1 winner, and then the places 50s, a 40s, 2 33s, a 28s, a 20s, 2 12s, 11, 2 10s, and 17s 2. So 45% strike rate is well above average 30%, and that is why we made it to the profit line last week because from a percentages point of view it was really good. If you actually then look at the non-starred ones last week, so there was the one standalone one, the Mason Patel one, 12 to 1, and I was happy to be on that one, and I've left his other ones alone last week, and that was the right thing to do, generally speaking. So I'm happy with that. So 12 to 1 winner was the only standalone non-starred, and then we had 4 non-starred in the Topham and 4 non-starred in the National, and we got a 40s place in one and a 33s place in the other. So that is 3 framers, including a winner out of 9, that's 33%. So for the fact they're non-starred and we got the 33%, that was all right. So that was 17 out of 40 selections made the frame, made the scoring points. And when you're playing at the prices I play at, then you should come out all right. Okay, there's a little bit of stat facts for you. Okay, I will see how we get on this week. I'll update you each day as we go. So I don't know what days we'll play and what days we won't. There is a little bit more racing on. As I said on yesterday's video, that I think it's 4 meetings, well, at least 4 every day, 5 on most now. And whilst the ground is sunny out and the ground is staying consistent, that is helpful as well from a form read point of view for the turf stuff. So we will see. All right, thank you very much. Let's hope for a positive start to the week. We will see. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.